What are some things you learned? Zach, this is a great question for you here. What are some things you learned that'll help with the next event?
Oh, there's just so many things. Like never would have thought doing this event, all the people that have never drag raced before. Like,
Mm,
Yeah.
like so you're like, so I was, and my guys, we were looking at YouTube videos trying to find like how to drag race event, sending, you know, turning into tech guys telling people you can't race that because you didn't want them to drive all the way there and they couldn't race. I mean,
mm-hmm.
so I'm going to try to be better prepared for that. And then some of the directions stuff, it's that's one thing that like we only had one mess up, but man, trying to choose, like, spend more time trying to find cool places because if you get to looking, there's a lot more cool places you never would have thought are out
Yeah.
there. And that's one thing
100%.
I've learned is there's so much cool things in your area that go unnoticed.
Yeah. Well, because it's literally for vacation, it's how fast can I get on vacation with my family and how long can I stay there and how fast can we get back home? So like you don't look at stuff like what we drove through with Jared's event. You just don't look at that 2 lane road that was perfectly repaved and like we just cruised, man. It was so great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Six months went into that.
all of ours was 2 lane too, and then a
Yep.
lot of these towns I've traveled through, but never took the time to go downtown. And
Yep.
there's just cool murals and stuff like that on buildings, and just a lot of things to appreciate that don't ever see the light most of the time.
Yep. One thing we did so when some of the events we've hosted, we called what was a rally hunt, which was like 80 items on a list. I would love to do something like that to where like people could get points for the stuff they find along the way. If they take
Yep.
pictures of X mural, it's worth 5 points. But that's not something I don't feel like like as a host of the event, you can't really get into. But as a like me showing up to one of y'all's events, I could do something like that and have fun with it.
That's something I actually plan to do. Deechworks gave us $4,800 of $300 a pop gift cards to give out for Coder and for other events this year.
Wow.
So, that's one thing I plan on do is, when I go route planning, because I do it every month, I'll cruise new roads, trying to find, just to make sure that the roads are good. When we go out, I'm going to leave one of those gift cards, basically like a geocache, hidden somewhere on the side of the road, give some clues. That way, even if it's not on our normal monthly cruise, it'll get these people off their butt out exploring new places to go find $300 worth of, fuel parts.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great idea. Geocaching. I'd never thought about that.
The story about Deistworks, when we were on Rocky Mountain 10, I want to say in 2018, we melted a DSM valve, one of the valves in the DSM, and the injector was clogged. And we were at OKC, and we called Deistworks, and they're like, we don't think we can get you in. And we drove there anyways, and then told them the story, and they were right on it. They just got injectors in and out. It was pretty cool how down they were with it. Like,
they're
awesome.
a great company.
Yeah, standing in front of somebody is way different than calling, "Hey, listen, we're struggling over here."
Well, I don't think they realized what it was until we got there. As soon as we told them what the event was, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're in." We weren't just some guy trying to put something together in the garage or something.
Right.
Yep. That's awesome. Mike, what did you learn on your past event that'll help with some of this one? With this one coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no joke. Honestly, one that I've got cats that want to attack the screen. Two, that don't undersell yourself. There's a lot of people out there that want to play. Make it affordable, but don't make it too affordable. So that you cut yourself to the bone. Honestly, and I was going to bring this up earlier when you guys were talking about prize money and stuff like that. Honestly, I don't want to see prize money in drag and drive events. When you have big money, you're going to have people hunting purses. Okay, we're seeing that a lot right now in the no prep community. Whatever the biggest pot is, that's the biggest race of the season. That's where everybody's coming out and destroying everybody.
Yeah.
Like Freiberger said under Drag Week, this is about doing it, not going after prizes. That's why they do trophy only. And that's why Drag Cruise is trophy only. I want the people out there that want to be there. Like Zach said, the community of drag and drive racers is one of the best things about drag and drive. People, it's half car show, it's half drag race, and it's half misery. Yeah. So, and that's the people I want to cater to. That's the people I want coming back because they love it. They really have a passion.
Yeah.
You start adding money into the mix, now you got people coming for dollar signs. So
the struggle on that side, though, for in my side, in my opinion, is like, people, you will elevate your class of cars once you start paying money. I mean, we did it with the circuit shootout, streetcar shootout. When we started paying money and paying winners entry, like the class entry we were paying to winners, it elevated our cars. So, but yeah,
and that's the thing. Right now, I'm sold out on 64 cars.
Yeah.
And I sold out in a month.
Yeah.
64 callers is all I could do on the back of test and tune sessions.
Yeah.
And that's how we're doing this one. And this is the last of the test and tune. Well, let me don't say that because the fall race may be coming up.
Yeah.
But next spring is going to be full blown track rental so that I can expand to the people that want to show up.
Well, and them not having to mess with paying at the gate and all that kind of stuff makes it way easier too.
Exactly.
Yep.
What I learned, a few things. One is to have two separate entrances to the track, one for racers, one for spectators. Because you were there, there's a lot of spectators.
Dude, yeah.
So we packed the house. So the problem was, and me being me, I didn't even think about this, but I had Justin McMurtry walk up to me. He's like, man, he goes, the only thing I would really change, I don't want to sit in line 40 minutes with Tahoes waiting to get in the racetrack to let my car cool down and to service it. You need to come up with another way for us as racers to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty important after they just completed a 300-mile drive. They need to be able to get in, get their shit cooled off, be able to work on it and service it. That probably proofread a lot more because we did these little maps that we paid pretty good money to have built. They were turn by turn because you get in Western Oklahoma, your phone don't work. Whenever they printed them, there were some typos in there that we didn't catch because we were kind of rushed, kind of made us look like idiots. So that's something that I want to do a better job at that. And then back to the money thing, obviously we did have a big payout. We took in a lot of money. We paid out a lot of money. The track put a typo in there that we actually addressed in the driver's meeting. They put, if you qualified, you guys $100 back or $150 where it was. Well, in the driver's meeting, Nick, the manager of Thunder Valley, he had to address that we weren't going to do that because we wanted people to get more track time. We weren't going to qualify. We weren't going to take the top 8. We were going to let everybody who made it, if they could go, race every round of qualifying. And even if you didn't qualify, you could still race in eliminations. You were just going to be so far down the ladder, you probably didn't have a chance. And it caused a little bit of a kickback with a few of the people who the flyers said $100. Well, we addressed that in the driver's meeting. And if you're really bitching about $100 on a drag and drive event, you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly because, let's be honest, everybody qualified.
Correct.
Bro, you raced you did it. What would you guys want to tell new folks that maybe haven't done their first drag and drive but are going to do it this year?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Get your feet wet in it. Don't stress too much about it. You're going to learn stuff along the way. Just show up and have fun. I mean, that's the biggest thing. None of us started knowing anything. We showed up with a little bit of tools and a car that was maybe questionable and just had fun. Our first event, we blew up and we had to replace an engine at 417 Motorsports. So, I mean, you can have even if it's a rough one, it's still fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Scotty makes a great point. Water, drink lots of water. Just buy a case. Keep a cooler, even if there's no more ice in it. At least it's cooler than outside.
Yeah.
Just make sure you go meet people that you'll never see. You'll never meet the people that are in Florida or, I have a lot of friends in Indiana now and stuff. You never would have met those people if you didn't just spend time to go talk to them. Go to pits. Walk around in the hotel parking lots at night. That's my most favorite thing is to just go walk and talk to people while they're servicing or just having a beer or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Thing that sticks out my brain is just make sure your car is safe. You're about to drive this thing 300 miles a day sometimes, middle of nowhere. Check your wheel bearings, check your brakes, check your car. Make sure it's got fluids in it. Drive this thing a little bit before you go try to drive it for 5 days in a row. Make sure your car's safe. Hydrate, like Scotty said, for sure, and live in the moment. Like, I'm a big live in the moment guy. Like, you're never going to be in the exact same place at the exact same time ever again in your life. Enjoy it, eat it up, embrace it. Like, Zach said, meet new people, experience new things, and don't be afraid to talk to people. Get a picture with them, because those are memories that you're going to make along the way you're never going to get to do again.